Rajni ma'am, you can start now.
Hi everyone. Good evening, guys. Hello. Yeah. Hi everyone. Good evening. How are you? All good? So we'll get started. Good evening. Good evening, Rakesh. Hi Amor. Can you make me presenter? I'm not able to share the screen.
One moment.
Hi Nitisha. Good evening. How are you guys? All good? How are you, Rakesh?
Rajni ma'am, you are co-host. Can you try one again?
Yes, I'm able to. Yes. Yes. Okay. So able to see the screen? Yes, guys? Yes, good, Rakesh. Thank you. I'm doing very well. Thank you. Yes. Any questions you have, guys, before we proceed with the today's session? Any questions regarding testing, regarding the training, regarding the curriculum that we are learning? Anything? Okay. Oh, good to know, Rakesh. Yes. When I teach, there are no doubts. Good. That is very what I can say, you made my day, or like my trainings are successful, then it means yes. So good to know. And yeah, so with this, we will discuss some other things. Okay. So I just wanted to figure out, and then what we have learned, give a in short the brief about what is the journey we have been so far. Yes, we have started initially with the manual testing. right? So in this, we discussed about what is testing, how the testing is done, what is defect, how we actually perform the testing. Okay. So we discussed about manual testing and also the practicals on the Jira. Yes, creating the defect and these things we have discussed. Okay. Then we started discussing about the automation testing. So what is automation testing? How we perform? Why we do automate? Yes, why we automate or what is automation testing? So in this automation testing, the very famous tool or that is widely used in the industry is Selenium. So Selenium you can use with the different languages. It supports multiple languages. So we are learning Selenium Java. So we started with the Java concepts, basic concepts. Then we discussed about the classes and object and some of the basic concepts. What is for loop, while loop, right? And the basic concepts. Then we started with the Selenium automation. So how to launch a browser. So browser is your Chrome browser, IE browser, Edge browser, how we launch it, how we close it. So how we find the element, right? Find the element and perform some action. So what are the actions that we perform? This we discussed. Okay. What are the actions that we perform on the elements? So we perform a click operation. Okay. Also we perform a send keys operation. So send keys is nothing but a type operation. Click is the click operation. So these are the things that we discussed. Then Selenium basic things we discussed. In this, we have discussed also about the locators. So what different types of locators we have? So we have 8 different locators: ID, name, class name, link text, all this. Okay. So then we started with the test engine. So test engine is a framework. Also, we have different frameworks. We started with the test engine, one to understand as the initially. Okay, so it provides us the annotations. So what is annotation? It will control the flow of the execution. So we don't need a main method in TestNG classes. Annotations will decide which method to execute when. So that is advantage of annotation. So your test cases will be test annotated methods. Before method, before class, after class, all those annotations we use for the setup activity. Okay, where we have to launch a particular browser and log in to perform or some basic activities to perform initially, we use the methods with these annotations. And actually test cases we write in the test annotation method. Okay, so we started with the test ng and annotations we discussed. Okay, also we are going to discuss some more things about test ng. Then we will discuss about the API testing. Okay, so this is about the topics we are going to discuss. So far, we have completed this. So our journey includes these all topics that we have discussed. Okay. So the importance here is to understand why we are using all these tools. Okay. The first thing is why we are testing. Testing will improve the overall quality of the application, right? Agree? Yes, guys. So this is what we have discussed. Okay. So these are all the topics that we discussed with. Any questions in this? No? Okay, good. So, good. So can we get replies from everyone? Guys, everyone, can you participate in the discussion? Right? I want replies from every one of you. Yes, no, something. So what we have discussed. Okay. So in this, when we say testing, okay. So what is the industry structure here in the testing? That also we discussed. Okay. So we discussed about the industry structure, how it is. So there is a team of people they are working on, right? So when you have team of people working on, okay, on okay, so there is a team. They are the we will say like the dev team. Okay, so dev team is there developing the application. There is a QA team. So what is a QA team will do? QA team will perform the testing. So what is the responsibility of the QA team? Yes, can we get a quick answers, please? Yes, what is the responsibility of QA? So QA is to test the application, right? Your application may have multiple pages, the flow and all. So if you are testing the Amazon application, okay? So your application is Amazon, consider. So you will test all the pages, okay? How the pages are looking like, what we have to test, process of data mining, okay? So you are going to test all these things, right? So how the pages are, what is the alignment, how the items are displayed, what is the description, then user is able to purchase or not, whatever the items are added in the cart, the amount is displayed correctly, and then payment is done. So all the payment options are displayed. So all these scenarios you will test, right? For all the scenarios you are going to perform the testing. So you will test, okay? So entire application test. So how many features you will have? So many, okay? So the people can be in the team are more, right? So you may have multiple people working on the, and then you may have 7 8 developers working on this. So your so parallelly things are being developed, parallelly they are tested. Okay. So then after testing, you will report the defects, right? What is a defect? So defect is anything not working, any deviation between actual and expected, you are going to report that defect. Okay. So in manual testing, what is the drawback in the manual testing? It is very slow. Slow means what? It is going to take some time. Yes or no? How much time it is going to take if you are testing manually? Okay, so this entire application Amazon you are testing, consider that you are testing the features that are available in this Amazon page. So can you just imagine and come up with the number of scenarios that you will write to test the application? So scenario in the sense, verify that user is able to add an item to the cart. Okay, so you have some mobiles, some hundreds of the options here. Okay, so you will test all those 100 options, right? So each sub option has then again 100 options. Each sub menu has some 50, 20 options. So all the options you have to test, yes or no? Yes or no, guys, tell me. So you are going to test all these. Yes, all these, all these, all this. Okay. So how many options are available here? I'll just roughly consider 50. I'll roughly consider 50. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this 7 options, we have 50 scenarios to test. Okay. So can I maintain a count here with this? Okay, so 6 submenus you have, and the 50 scenarios you have to test. Like these 6 submenus, we have total how many? Suppose 10 menus, and in that 10 menus, we have 6 submenus and total this. So these many test cases you are going to test roughly. Yes, more than this you will test, obviously. More than this you will test. Okay. Yes. Able to understand, guys? Yes, no. Can we get a quick replies? Simple it is, right? So how many? Around 300 test cases you have. So all negative and all positive, if you include negative also, some. So all will become a 600. Around 600 minimum test cases you will execute. Okay. So if you are testing this all with the manual testing, how many people you may need to test or to complete this task in the 5 days, 5 days of testing you want to perform? It is not possible. 600 test cases to test in a 5 days. It is not possible. Okay, so if you want it to be done in a 5 days and one person is able to execute 10 test cases per day, so you may need around 12 to 15 resources, right? So how many resources you need per day per person? They are executing 10. And so you may need 12 to 15. 15 members, the QA resources you need. Okay, so what is the cost of each resource? It is on a much higher side it is going. So how much of the resources you need in order to perform the manual testing? 12. Okay. Also consider if you are testing with the automation. If you are testing with automation, you have all the script. All the script are automated. So all these scripts will be executed in 4 hours time. 4 hours or 8 hours, something. So one day is enough. One day and one person can execute. How we are able to save the time? How much the time we are able to save in this process? Overall understanding. So with this, initially, to develop automation scripts, you may take month as well. Okay, so I'm not saying that in 4 hours we will develop and then test it, execute it. Okay, so initially you may take 1 month to develop all the automation scripts that we are learning. So using the TestNG framework, using the annotations, using all these features. Okay, all these features, it is taking 1 month to write, but only once you are writing. Yes or no? Every day you are not writing, right? So only once, initially 1 month you have taken to develop those scripts. Later you are executing, one person is able to execute or monitor the execution, and that is also executed without that person is present in front of the system. Okay. Yes. So how much of the time we are able to save? Time is money, right? So how much of the effort we are able to save with the automation testing? That is where the automation testing is famous and then is used widely. Yes, there is a lot of work, lot of repetitive work in QA. So to avoid that all repetition, we use automation testing. Clear? So with this all features, this advantage, with this the advantage of these 15 resources, all together you can reduce it to one. Okay, so what is the cost of 15 resources overall? Even if you consider 20K per month for a 12 resources, it is going on a higher side. How much it is? Can you tell me guys quickly? So 12 resources you have. Okay. And altogether 12 resources you have. Okay. And you have the salary is as a 20K. What is a monthly project cost for the testing only? Yes, what is a monthly cost for the testing? Yes, no, able to understand. Yes, only reply to me. Yes, correct. So the cost will be 240, right? So per month, the cost is this. Okay. So if you have one automation resource, okay, and the one automation resource is able to take care of, even you pay the monthly salary 100K, you are in a profit. Yes or no? Are you in a profit or not? Tell me, guys. The company is in a profit even though they have salaried automation QA this. Yes, can we get yes, Adrian, able to understand? Yes, no, can you reply? Yes. So what is the cost here? This is the cost. Okay, with this cost, can we still say the project cost you are able to save around 140K you are able to save with this, and then right, so make a profit. Even the company is paying the 200K, then also it is in the we are saving the cost. Yes or no? Yes. So how faster it is to perform? Okay, so your automation QA one day he tested, remaining other days. Okay, so in a month, remaining all other days, if we consider 20 days working in the month, then one day is in this testing. So remaining 19 days, he can still work on some other automation stuff, right? Some other automation he can work on. Yes. So some other automation he is able to work, develop some of these scripts, some other automation he is able to work. Okay. Then he will develop some of the scripts using Selenium again, and then perform some automations, and then create the script and again execute maybe later. So entire month also we are not utilizing the resource, right? Resource can be utilized again for a 19 days for other automation stuff to develop, right? Automation code to develop. So here entire month is been utilized for this cost. Resource is busy, right? He is working on the testing and testing, right? So with this also there is still the days that are saved, the time that is saved can be utilized for automation script to develop. Okay. So with this, the testing is very much famous. Okay, with this automation testing has become popular. So how much drastically it is able to save the time, cost, right? So now can you relate how much of the effort it is able to save? How much of the cost? So it is how much of the time we are able to save. First thing is right, in a one day it is done entire, it is a cost of 30 days. Okay, so what is the cost of one day of automation resource, even though it is he is paid 200K month, right? So it is 20 days working if you consider 10K per day, right? Again, so how much time we are able to save with the automation, right? So with this automation testing is used widely. Yes. So why Selenium is famous? the options we have, what other options we have. So Selenium is very much famous because it is open source. Okay. And it supports multiple languages. What multiple languages it supports? Right. So it supports Java, Python, PHP, JavaScript, C Sharp, all different languages it supports. So with this, Selenium is very famous. Also, the scripts that you write using Selenium, you can execute on the different browsers, different operating systems. Okay, that is again a cross browser testing is possible. With that, it is famous. Yes. Okay, good. So now able to correlate what we are learning. Okay. So now we will discuss about this TestNG and why we use it. Okay. So we will move to the IDE where we have written. Okay. So if you are launching the browser, okay, if you are automating the page individually, okay, so the test case has one thing. Suppose your test case has one thing, that is one test case in a one class. Okay. So one test case in a one class you have considered. Okay. So consider that you are automating this Amazon page and one class you created where you are searching something and performing the search operation. Okay. Then another class you created where you are testing the add to cart feature. In one more class, you are performing the payment testing. So you have 10 different or 100 different test cases to execute, and all are executed. Okay. But your few of the code is same, right? So what is the code that is same? You have, so you have some of the code which is same, that is launching the URL, right? So if you launch a browser, that is same. In all the test cases, you will launch, you will find a locator and then perform some of the testing. So all the pages will have this code repetitive, right? So one test case is to launch a browser and then after you launch, search something. Okay, another test case is to click on mobiles and check the options. Another test case is to click on today's deal and check the options, right? You will be writing multiple test case in a framework, yes or no? Okay. So in this, what is going to happen is you are writing some of the code which is repetitively same. Okay. You are writing same code in multiple classes. Now we will write some more classes and then understand. Okay. This is where you are trying to search iPhone and then click on this search button and click on a back forward. Okay. So this is the test case that we discussed. Also, we will write one more test case, which is test case 2 we will take and then main method and finish. Okay, so in this test case, we will try to click on mobiles and then search for some particular mobile. Okay. What is we need? We need this code same as it is, right? In this test case as well. Yes or no? We are going to call this WebDriver manager, Chrome driver and setup. Okay, driver object we create and then also launch the browser, which is amazon.in. So it will be same. These steps will remain same. And the next step you will write, inspect this And what is we can use? We can use the link text locator. Okay, I'll copy and then I'll use. Okay, driver dot find element which is by dot id. Okay, by dot link text, and pass the link text as okay. So what is okay? We'll change it. Driver dot get is to launch a URL. Okay, and then launch a URL, which is this. Save it. So it will launch a particular page. Driver dot find element by dot link text and give this text mobile so that it will click on this. What is the method we have to use here? Dot click to click on it. Okay, semicolon. Save it. Okay, so you will write some more test cases. Suppose you have another test case to click on a customer service, right? So this all steps will remain same. You will write one more test case. Now, then we will create a one more test case. Create a class as a test case 3. Okay. And we need a main method finish. And in this, use the same code. And here we are going to use this link text to click on this customer service. Okay. And then you will have some more steps to verify this. In this, what is a problem? Try to understand what is a problem. So the problem here is we are writing the code which is same. Okay. So you might be saying, okay, I'll copy paste. What is the problem if I copy paste? Okay. So I will copy paste every time and then it will run. Okay. So this solution will also work. Copy paste will also work and then you are able to do it even though it is repeat. Okay. Consider you have 100 test cases like this. Okay, test case 1, test case 2, 100 or 1000 test cases you have, or consider in this example of the 600 test cases. So you have all the 600 test cases automated, okay, in this framework, okay, which is your using this Selenium. And in this, you automated all the 600 here in this test package of this project. Okay, so you will have how many test cases? 600 test cases. Okay, 600 times you copied, right? 600 times you copied these 3 lines that, okay, so driver dot get and then launch a URL, which is amazon.in. Simple, able to understand. So now you will say that I will copy 600 times. What is the problem? Right? Yes. Do you think any problem it is, or it is okay to copy paste? Is it okay to copy paste? Right? It's okay. You might be thinking it's okay to copy paste. Yes. Can we get a quick replies? Yes, no. 600 test cases we have, and then initial setup code, we are just writing it multiple times, just copy paste. Is it okay? The duplicate code we are writing, is it okay or not? No. Okay. Okay, fine. You are saying no. Others will say yes. It is okay, right? Do we have anyone who is saying yes, it is okay to use or write it the same code in the multiple classes? Yes, Deepak, correct. Yes. Okay. So Okay. So now I'll tell you what is the problem. Yes, we have few people who are saying yes, no need to create. Few are saying yes, we have to. Yes. Okay, good. So what is the problem here is with if your URL is changed. Okay, so your project decided or your client decided I'll change this name to something else. Okay, or your URL is changed. It is Amazon.in. So something is changed in the URL, for example. Okay, then how many times you have to update? Can we have the answers, please? In all the test cases, you need to update. How many times you need to update? 600 times you need to update. Yes or no? All the test cases, all the 600 test cases, what you have, all the test cases you need to update with the URL. So URL you need to update in all the 600 test cases. Right? So all the 600 test cases you need to update. That is where you have the problem of overload, which is you have to go and update in all the 600 test cases. Right? It is tedious or it is just time waste, right? You have created initially and then updating. Yes, how many times you are updating? 600 times. Very tedious it is. How much time it will take? It will take one day, maybe all 600 test cases, you will change the URL. So what is the use of automation then? Right? So what is the use of advantage then having automation? Again, you are wasting the time. So here with this problem, we have framework. What is framework? Framework will give you the advantage where you create one method and in that method you write only once driver.get. Okay. And in case of this URL is changed down the line tomorrow somewhere, you will change it at one location only and then reuse it remaining all the places. Okay. Reuse it all the places. The method you write, you will reuse. Okay, so method you write and in that you write only once. So in case of the URL is changed or anything is changed, you will change it at a one place. Automatically from wherever you're calling that method, the new updated value will be taken and execution will happen. Yes, Deepak, right? So now we writing the separate method and then reusing it will be added benefit if we have some method, some framework, some structure. Framework is nothing but some structure to your code. Okay, so just not the linear code. What is a linear code? Everything you are writing in a one class and then closing the browser. Again, another class you are writing and then closing that. So that is linear program. Yes, what is a linear program? One thing you are writing in one class. Okay, everything you are writing in a one class, that is linear program. So what is a framework? Framework is having some methods, structure to your code. That is a framework. Okay, so with this framework, maintaining will become easy. Okay, whatever the changes are, you will update at a one location, other places it will be reflected. Okay, and then we can use it, reuse it in the multiple classes. Okay, so now in this framework, now as you are saying, Deepak, that we can reuse and create a one generic class. So where we create that generic class? Okay, so we create a generic class which is okay, so which is we create a base class. Okay, what is the base class? So we create one generic class which is base class, which is base class. Okay, so which is a You can say test base, or some class you create where you are writing the launching the URL. Okay, setup code, launch a URL, everything you are writing. Okay, so whatever you have set up to do, URL to launch, or login to perform, which is every test case you have to perform. So all these things you will write it in the test base. So this is your test base or your base class. So this is your base class where you are writing it. Okay. So this is your test base class. So Java class, it was test base.java. Okay. This is the class that you created. Okay. Where you have all this repetitive code kind of a template. Yes. Okay. So now this is a class which has been created, which has the code. Okay. Okay. So all this code we need in the all the test cases that we are going to write. So test cases, we are going to separate it in two parts. Okay. So test cases, we are going to separate it in two parts in the framework. So this is what the framework is. In what two parts we are going to separate? So we are going to create a page layer. Okay. So which is all the page classes you will create. Okay. So all the page classes you create here. Okay. What is a page class? What is a class? Class will have some variables and methods. Yes. So on, go on. You will have so many classes. Okay. What classes you will have? For example, you are testing Amazon. Okay. So how many pages Amazon has? Bestseller, mobiles, today's deal, customer service, books, electronics, prime, fashion, everything. Okay. For all these web pages, you have this page classes. So you will have a page class for a home page. Okay. So for a mobiles page dot Java class you have. Okay. One more class you have for a prime page dot Java. Okay. So like this, you have so many page classes. What your page class will contain? The locators, right? The element locators and the methods to perform action on it. What we will write, we will see. Okay. What we will write, we will see. So we are writing this. And we will have the test layer. Okay. So which is the test layer we write. In this test layer, you have again the test ng classes. So what are the test ng classes we discussed? For a mobiles, you will have a mobiles test dot Java. Okay. So what you are going to write in this test ng class? The test cases. Okay. So you are going to write test cases here in this. In your test class, you need setup or launch a URL. Yes. So all your test classes will inherit this test base. Also, all your test base, all the page classes will inherit the test base, because page layer will have the pages. To click on this, any of the element on the mobiles page, I need to launch a driver and launch this URL and login. So these three things are basically needed in all the pages and all the test cases. Yes. So what is the advantage here? We are reusing this test based code. Yes or no? And we are also giving this some structure. So also we are giving some framework to our code, right? So this is the framework. Having the folder structure, packages is nothing but the framework. Able to understand now what is a framework? Simple it is. Yes, no. Can we get replies? So you will have TestNG classes in the test layer. Okay, and then all these classes will inherit the test base. Inherit means these methods will be inherited in these child classes. What is inheritance in Java? Inheritance in Java is having all the methods inherited to the child class. Yes. Okay. So what is inheritance? We will discuss. What is inheritance in Java? All the properties, methods, objects, all the things, all the properties and the methods. Properties are nothing but the attributes. All the attributes and methods will be automatically inherited to the child class, right? So all these will be inherited to child class. Inheritance means parent class properties are inherited. So suppose this is your A, class A, and you are inheriting this class A in the class B. Okay. Then all the methods, attributes, whatever are there. So integer A, integer B, whatever variables and the methods you create, some and other methods or student class it is, and then you are inheriting. So everything will be available in this. All the properties are downloaded here. Downloaded in the sense available here, automatically inherited. Yes. So with by creating the object of B, you will be able to access all those attributes, methods. Even you create an object of A, you will be able to access that all the attributes and methods. So inheritance is reusing the code. Yes. So inheritance means reusing the code. Here test base is the class we are writing setup, which is to launch a URL and then perform a login, perform a logout. So based on a need, we will call the method login to perform, logout to perform. If not, we will not call, right? But everything, all things are inherited in the child classes. So we are reusing the code. In case of URL is changed, for example, okay, then you will change it at a one location. In case tomorrow username or password is changed or any detail is changed, you are going to change it in a one method. In case you have URL is changed, you are going to change it at a one location. And everywhere it is same, reflected. The changes will be reflected everywhere. Okay. So now we will create this setup and then try to understand how this we create, how the framework is. So what is a framework? In simple language, what is a framework? It's a folder structure, right? All the components. So folder structure is very rough language. So some technical words we will say structure of the components is the framework. Okay. So whatever components you have, framework will have the components which is page layer, test base, test layer. So structure of these components are structured in particular way. Yes. So framework will have n number of components and all components are having some particular structure. Okay. So where, how the things are implemented, what things we write in which, there is a structure. Okay. So that is where it is called as the framework. Okay. Instance of object is the class we create a class object, that is objects we create. Okay. Yes. So this is about the framework and components, how this we create in the Selenium so that it is easy to maintain. So whenever there is a change, it is easily maintained, right? You update at a one place, updates are reflected all over. So you will call the login method from this pages. You can launch, you are able to launch or login or set up from these pages, from these test cases as well. Okay. So this is about the framework. Any questions in this? No? So like this, you will have the multiple test classes. So your test classes are the test ng classes, right? Test classes are the test ng classes. Page classes are the Java classes. Okay, so the Java classes you write in the page layer. Test layer, you write the test engine. Here also you can write the Java classes. Not mandatorily you should use test ng classes only, but if you use, you have some advantages. What are the advantages? Automatically that report is created, annotations are available. So it is having some advantages. So we use test ng. Okay. So we will take a break here, 10 minutes break. So we'll take a 10 minutes break. Hi everyone, back. Okay, good. Yes, thank you. Yeah, good, good. Okay, so what we are discussing? So we are discussing about the frameworks, okay, and what we create and where we create the TestNG classes. Yes, everyone clear with this now that we create the TestNG classes in the test layer. The page layer classes are the Java classes that we create. Here also you can create Java classes and you can use the inheritance concept to reuse the components that you have. Yes. Yes. So now we will look at the what we write in the page classes. So page classes will have the attributes and the methods, right? So what are the attributes that we have? So the attributes we will have are the element locators. Okay. So element locators we will have, and also the methods. So you will have the locators and then methods. What are the methods you will have? So methods you will have are the to perform the actions on these locators. Whatever locators you have to perform the actions on that locators, we will use the page classes. Okay. So some of the things we will see here. Okay. So what you will have in a page class. Just try to understand on the overview side what we are writing. So what we are writing in the base class, the test base has the code to launch the driver, right? WebDriver manager code and driver and then WebDriver. Yes. And also we initialize, we already given the URL here, okay, to close the browser. So we have some methods that are reused. What we have in the page layer, you have customer service class, which extends the test base. Okay, also you have home page, which will extend the test base. For a mobile page, also you will extend the test base. Yes. So this is what we have in the page classes, right? So what we will write in the class, we write the locators. These are the locators for the elements. Okay, so you create a login related code that is using username, password you have to input and then click on a login button and then login is performed. Okay. So also you will create some of the methods which will perform actions on these methods. What actions you can perform? Okay, check the logo, login, and then search for the particular text or particular mobile you can text, search for. So these are the methods. All these methods, what you are going to perform? These methods, you are going to perform the actions on the locators, right? So what are the actions? You perform the send keys or the, you will use the click operation. Also, we have methods is displayed to check the locator that element is available displayed on the page. Okay, to check the element is displayed on a page, we use is displayed method. Okay. So this is clear. So what you have in the test layer, then test layer, you will have the test classes. Okay. So what are the test classes? Just a minute. So we will create one testng test class here, which will call the elements available in the page classes. Okay, so we write the test classes in the test package here, src test java. So you can write homepage test. So the test classes will have the name as a test. Okay, why we specify test? Because it is a test class. Logout page or a test page, you will create multiple testng classes which are for the test. Okay. So here in this test class, what you have test annotated method, you have before class, after class, some of the annotations. Not every class you will have all the annotations. Not every class you will have all the annotations. Right? Few of the annotations you will have. Okay, based on a need you will use. Yes. Able to understand, guys? Yes. Able to understand. So in this, we create an object of a page class. What is a page class here? Home page is a page class. We are creating the object of this class. How we are creating? Using the new keyword. Using the new keyword, we are creating the object of a class. Okay. So this is about the testng classes that we create in the framework. Okay. So how we are calling the methods, we will try to understand. So we created an object of a home page. Okay. Using home page object, check logo method is the method we are calling in the test case 1. So where we have this check logo method here in this page class, we have this method, right? So which is we are verifying that logo is available. Okay. So for a page, logo is displayed. Okay. So go to the home page and check that this home page dot check logo we are calling with the object that is home page. Okay. This is one test case. Another test case, you have something search for a mobile or something. For that, the same object homepage dot search text we are calling. What is a search text method will perform? So search text method will perform a send keys. Okay, so it is searching for the Selenium tutorial. Okay, so you can search for anything. You can search for the particular text. You can change it. Also, you can pass it as a parameter to the method. Right? So how we pass it as a parameter here? Declare string and variable and pass those variables here. Okay. So you can create that way. Okay. So all these methods you're able to call that are available in the page classes. So in the testing test classes, we are just calling the methods that are available in a page class. So everything, whatever you have on a page, okay, the locators, the methods to perform action on that elements, we are writing on a pages. So in case your framework or your application has some updates, okay, what are the updates? For example, so for example, initially you have only few features, then later on some more features are added. For example, the features are added, prime feature is added, some fashion feature is added later on. So your test cases, you need to improve or add more test cases, update the test cases. So all that addition you will do only in the page classes, right? So only in the page classes you are going to add or modify what you have written. Okay. The test cases which are calling these methods available in a page class, you are just calling those methods from this testng classes. So we will not update anything in the testng classes. Anything if the page is changed, anything the elements are changed or the UI is changed, locators are changed, then that change will be updated here in this page classes. Okay, suppose the username locator is changed or element is changed, then we will change the locator here. Okay, search box locator is changed, we will change it here. URL is changed, we will change in the test base. Okay, the test cases will only change if in case of functionality is changed or you want to increase some more test cases, positive, negative test cases based on, it's up to you how you test it, what methods you call in a sequence. That is your test case you will write. But actually, when you look at, you will change only in the page classes in case of the application features are modified or any locators are changed or anything is changed. Yes, able to understand? Okay. So this is what we have, the framework. Okay. This is where we use the frameworks and then we create the structure. So what is the advantage of framework now? Yes. So easy to maintain it is. Okay. Yes. Avoid duplicate code. Yes, Deepak, correct. Others? Anyone? Okay. So now we will look at the, okay. So now we will look at the advantages of the framework. So what framework we have discussed? The framework name is page object model. Okay. So we discussed about the pages, the pages we created. Yes, the page classes we created for the application page and the objects we created in the testng classes. And this is the model of pages and the objects. So this is page object model. So what are the advantages? We will discuss now. So what are the advantages we have? The advantages of page object model framework. Okay, so the framework advantages and page object model framework advantages. The first thing is, yes, can you tell me anyone? Ease to maintain, ease in maintaining. Can we say that whenever there is an update, we are updating at a one location, right? So ease in the maintaining. Can we say yes? Okay, ease in maintaining. That is a advantage of the framework. And also it is readable. So what is readable? You are able to understand what is available, what is the code completed. Okay, so when you go to the pages package and then look at, okay, customer service page code is yet to develop. Okay, you are yet to write. Is in reading, right? What is completed, what is not completed. So you are the team member. Then you will be able to understand what is completed, what you have to work on. So it is more readable. So your code is more readable if you have a framework. So methods get more realistic names. Also, you give the more realistic names. Okay. So how we are giving the realistic names here in this check logo? With this, you are able to understand, okay, we are checking the logo is available or not. Okay, login with this name, we are able to understand login, we are performing. Search text, we are able to understand, okay, we are searching for the text. Okay, so with this, the framework becomes more readable, right? Yes, more readable it is, the methods, what they perform, we are able to understand. So, readable. So, methods get the more realistic names. So, with these realistic names, we are able to understand what it performs. Yes, easy in maintaining this, we understood. Easy in maintaining, yes, this is correct. And then more readable it is, right? And also it makes the code reusable. Code is reusable. So your page classes are separate, your test classes are separate, you have test base class. So you are reusing the code. Yes. So with code is reusable, your code becomes optimized. So code is less. Code becomes less. So code becomes less means code is optimized. What is optimized? So we are writing the less code but achieving the more, right? So code is also optimized. Yes. So this is also the advantage of the framework. So these are the advantages of the frameworks. So it is low in maintaining, high in performance, more readable, code is reused, code is optimized. Good. Okay. So these are the advantages of the framework. More easy it is, maintaining is much more easy. Okay. And then you have, it is more readable, and then code is reused, code is optimized. Simple. So these are the advantages of the framework. We have discussed about page object model framework. So what are the pages we have? The pages we created are the Java page classes. Yes. And then we are creating the objects of those page classes in the test-ng classes where we created object. This is the object, right? Using the new keyword, we created object. So the object is created for the page classes, and then we have test cases that are created in this test layer test-ng classes. Simple. So we have attendance link in the chat, guys. You can mark the attendance. Any questions? Okay. No questions? Good. Okay. So no questions. Then how this is working, we will see. Okay. How this framework is working of the page object model. Okay. Working of page object model, we will see. Okay. Any questions till now? No questions? Okay. So no questions. Good. So here we will see the working of page object model. So you have login page, you have home page, okay. One question we have, to work with Selenium Java, we have to have a in-depth knowledge of Java programming language, or whatever basics you covered is sufficient. Okay. Um, yes. So I'll tell you. Okay. So I'll answer this question. Okay. So before we see, we have these all page classes. Okay. Okay. We will discuss what is needed as a programmer to work on Selenium Java. So what are Java topics you should know? Okay. So whatever we discussed, on top of that, you need to have some of the understanding of other concepts as well. Okay. We have discussed classes and objects and loop statements, for loops, and while loop. Okay. How we write. And we discussed about if else, the programs. Okay, the basics of it we discussed. Also, you should be aware of oops concept. What is abstraction? Okay, what is encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, all those. And collections in Java, and exception handling in Java. Okay, so you should be aware of all these concepts in order to work on the Selenium. Okay, so you should know oops concept and also collections, also exception handling, and then basics. Right? All these concepts you should be aware of. So all these collectively is called as core Java. Yes, not the advanced Java, core Java. So core Java you should be familiar with. Okay, so you should be familiar with core Java concepts. Yes, got it? Did I answer your question? Yes. Okay, thank you. These are all the things that you should know. Okay, so now we will look at this. Okay. So what you have in this, so what we are learning now? Now we are discussing about the working of the page object model. Okay. You have login page. These are the page classes. You have login page. Yes. Okay, so we have the login page. This is the login page. Then we have home page. And also any other page. Okay, the search page or add to cart or a payment page. Okay, consider we have payment page. So this page classes will contain the web elements. So it will contain the web elements of the login page. And methods. So these are all things available in this login page. Okay, these are all the things available in the login page. Okay, then you will create an object of this login page in the test class. What is the test class you have? What will be the name? So login test, the test class you will have. Okay. So in the test class will contain the test cases. So what login test cases? You have for a invalid, for a valid scenarios, different scenarios. You will have the login test cases in this class. Yes. What a home page will contain? Home page contains the web elements. Web elements of the home page. So let's say what are those? Locators and methods. Right? So these things will be available in this home page. Yes. And this home page object we will create in a class which is test class, which contain the test cases for the home page. So this will be test class where you have the test cases and the steps. Test case steps you will have for the home page. Yes, able to understand, guys? Simple. So in this payment page, you will have in the payment page what it contains. It contains the web elements of the payment options. Okay, maybe you will have credit card, debit card, all these options, whatever elements you are available, you have on the payment page. That payment page locators you will have. So it means locators and methods you will have in this, right? And then this class object you create in the test class, which will have a test cases. So this is your test class. In this, you create a object of this payment page where you will call these steps and the methods. So it contains the steps to perform the payment. So now able to understand how your page object model will work. Okay, the objects you are able to create in this. In this way, you are able to create an object. Okay. No questions? Good. Yes. So guys, we have attendance link in the chat. Please mark your attendance and also please feel free to provide the feedback. Yes. Hope you are understanding all the training sessions, what topics we are discussing. Everything is easy, able to understand. Yes. I'm trying to simplify the things and then explain. Hope you are able to understand everything what we are discussing. So we are discussing basics, right? We have many things to learn in detail, practicals as well. First thing is basics you should understand. So able to understand the basics, everyone. Yes. Okay. Thank you guys. So thank you for attending the session. We'll continue tomorrow with some more interesting topics in the Selenium automation. Okay. Okay, guys, then we'll continue tomorrow. Please mark your attendance. Yes. Any questions? No questions? Good.
Amar, shall I end the session?
Yes, Tirunal, you can wind up the session.
Okay.